welcome to 7 Sports live and exclusive coverage of the 1991 AFL Grand Final. Coming to you from VFL Park Waverley in Melbourne, Victoria. Wherever you're watching around the world, we certainly hope that you're going to enjoy it. We have almost a capacity crowd of around 77,000 fans here this afternoon, and I welcome our viewers through England, Ireland, the United States, Japan, Canada, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, and last but by no means least, the people of Nauru. Wherever you may be watching, sit back, relax, and enjoy a piece of history, because this country of ours is divided today. The West Coast Eagles, after 5 years, have made it through to their first grand final, and they're up against the experienced old stagers. Hawthorn playing in their 8th grand final and going for their 8th in 9 years. Quite an outstanding achievement by the Hawks. This has become commonplace over the past several decades. It's interesting to look at how both sides made it through to the grand final. The Eagles, we're in their rooms at the moment. They had a couple of minor hiccups. One was losing to Fitzroy in the home and away games, and then the next week they went down to Hawthorn in Perth, and people then began to ask the odd question. But they steadied the ship. They defeated Melbourne, then Geelong, and here they are playing Hawthorn. I mentioned the Eagles and how it could divide the nation. Well, if we've got excitement here with some 77,000 fans, I can tell you for sure, even though I'm 3,000 kilometres away, that the city of Perth is truly throbbing. Let's take this preview of the big game from Stephen Phillips.
The city that stunned the world with its audacious and successful raid on the America's Cup in the 80s is at it again. Out to shake the sporting establishment and snare the symbol of football supremacy, the Australian Football League Premiership Cup. To say football fever has Perth in its grasp is an understatement. Such is the frenzy in the West Australian capital that the departure of the West Coast Eagles on Friday prompted a live television show. Eagles fans have poured into Melbourne all week, and early this morning the Red Eye Special Brigade tumbled into Tullamarine. This first foray into an AFL Grand Final by the West Coast has upset supporters here in Melbourne, the long-time home of this distinctive Aussie game. But it's been a week where tradition, it seems, has gone by the boards. On Monday night, an Irishman won the game's highest honour, the Charles Brownlow Medal. His mum and dad flew in from Dublin to witness Jimmy Steins record a runaway triumph. There was only one team represented at the annual Grand Final motorcade through Melbourne's Central Business District, the men of Hawthorn, who've been there before, 7 times in the last 8 years. But it's a drive they love. And then there's today's venue. While the MCG is undergoing its facelift, VFL Park in Waverley is set to host its first grand final, and the fans have been waiting eagerly since sunrise. Grand Final Day is one to savour. From early morning at the Southern Cross, where a couple of thousand eggs have been cooked to perfection for guests at the North Melbourne Grand Final breakfast. Grand Final Day in Melbourne is about people, and with VFL Park restricted to less than 80,000, the crowd will be the most intimate in 45 years. It's a day when everyone is on a winner.
Well, I think Hawthorn, very close game.
Well, I think the Hawks, because of experience. I think Hawthorn are going to win.
I think it'll be good for the game if the Eagles won, because I think it is truly a national competition.
It's always a day to show your colours, to flaunt the brown and gold of Hawthorn, or ruffle the local feathers with the blue and gold war paint. It's a day when the roads are choked, when the air is alive, and when public transport is stretched to bursting point. A day when you can enjoy a pre-match snack, dine in comfort, or sit in the privacy of an air-conditioned super box. But that's what an AFL Grand Final is all about, and the countdown is well and truly on, here at VFL Park on this last Saturday in September.
This weekend, a main event doubleheader.
When you were born, your nose came out first. 3 weeks later, they found you, unfortunately.
Tonight, the Acropolis against Fast Forward.
Very, very tasteful.
They're all going out on a grand final night rampage.
Every night for me is a fantasy.
And tomorrow night, the stars are still shining at 7:30.
We've got a whole stack of fun to have.
2 all-star main events this grand final weekend.
How could you go wrong?
Tonight at 6:30, tomorrow at 7:30. It's huge on 7.
You do good, then you do better when you beat that. You're the best, even if it's only in a little way. You go on getting better every day. Good, better, best. We will never rest until our good is better and our better best. Good, better, best. We will never rest until our good is better and our better best.
Steve Monaghetti, a teacher with an Olympic dream, doing his best for Australia. Mars, helping Australians to be a part of the Olympics.
Remember how it all began? Everybody said you'd go far. Welcome to America. Welcome to United's friendly sky.
United can take you to more of the United States than any other airline.
And where are you off to today?
We're going home.
Home. That's one of our most popular destinations.
Welcome to United's friendly sky.
7 Sport Mitsubishi Motors Mark of the Year. Your phone vote could win you a Mitsubishi Magna. Dial the phone number on the mark you want to vote for. Mark 1, Peter Somerville, Essendon. Mark 2, Brett Allison, North Melbourne. Mark 3, Stuart Lowe, St Kilda. Mark 4, Derek Kickett, Essendon. Mark 5, Dale Lewis, Sydney. The winner of the Mark of the Year will also receive a Mitsubishi Magna. You have until 4 p.m. today to register your vote. Rex Hunt's Fishing World. Learn those professional secrets that makes the difference when you drop your line in the water. Rex's passion for fishing covers all aspects of the sport. The tackle, product review, what's biting and where. Travel all across the state and beyond in search of the big one that doesn't get away.
So let's head them up and move them out, boys.
Nissan, BP and Ray's Tent City presents Rex Hunt's Fishing World following tonight live Fridays.
Welcome back to VFL Park here in Melbourne and the 1991 Grand Final. A bit of history being made today. Not only are the Eagles being represented for the first time, but this is probably the first and last time that this ground will be used for a Grand Final. Renovations to the great southern stand at the MCG will be completed by next year, and that is where the 92 final will be held. But we have a great crowd here, in excess of 77,000, and there's no doubt that the finals atmosphere is with us once again. Two gentlemen who know all about finals, and in particular grand finals atmosphere, are with me at the microphone. Ross Glendinning and Ian Robertson. Gentlemen, welcome.
Sandy. Thanks, Sandy. It's a big day, isn't it, really, grand final day. You just can't beat it. It's a culmination of a big season for everyone, Ross.
It did seem a little bit different initially when you consider the atmosphere that's always there at the MCG, but today has built up to a nice crescendo at the moment, and the people have filed in very quickly in the last half an hour, and it's looking nice and busy and exciting.
And I'm sure that the AFL would be ecstatic about the crowd, because it's the first time, as Sandy has already mentioned, that an interstate club has participated, and we've got pretty close to a packed house, Sandy, and that's great. I think that augurs well for the future of Australian football.
Gentlemen, we look forward to your comments throughout the afternoon. Also joining us is Gerard Healy. It's a big day not only for the players, but also for the umpires. The men in white for this grand final are Brian Sheehan and John Russo. Here's Gerard with them now.
Yes, well, here we are in the inner sanctum of Waverley, in territory that has very rarely been got into before, with two umpires, the grand final umpires, John Russo and Brian Sheehan. John, the grand final selection must be the highlight of your career.
Oh yeah, no worries, Gerard. It's been a real highlight this year. It's been fantastic. Excellent.
And who gets the privilege of the first bounce?
Brian.
Well, I've got it this year. It certainly is a great honour and a great feeling to hold the ball up to start this magnificent game.
And how are the nerves?
Under tow. I mean, obviously you feel nervous, but pretty cool and calm.
How'd you sleep last night, John?
Like a log, yeah. Hit the sack. The phone rang at 8:15 and I didn't answer it, so I still don't know who it was, but I slept like a log. Yeah, no way.
And Brian, what were Bill Della's last-minute instructions?
Well, just really to enjoy the day and savour all the moments that happened during the day.
Well, fellas, congratulations and good luck in the big game today.
Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Jared.
Yes, as I said, it's a fine achievement not only for the players, as we see the Hawks going through their final warm-up routine before making their way out onto the ground. It's also a great achievement for those two umpires, Brian Sheehan and John Russo. We wish them well. We also wish the West Coast Eagles. My word, the Melbourne airport was hectic yesterday and early this morning. They do have their fans here. More than 5,000 people have flown across the Nullarbor to see if their side can create history today by winning their first flag after coming into the competition in 1987. A fantastic achievement for them to have this sort of success after such a limited time in the competition. There's one of the former greats of the game, Brownlow medalist, former North Melbourne champion, Keith Gregg, and he is looking pensively on, just pondering the outcome of what will be in the next 3 hours. From above, it's a magnificent arena. As I said, it holds some 77,000. That is its capacity. Unfortunately, due to Melbourne's inclement weather in recent times, there has been a problem with the car parking. You can see the vacant spots there. But no matter, people have made their way to this ground today to see the Hawks and the Eagles, the Battle of the Birds, here in the 91 Grand Final. We've got some great entertainment lined up for you. Wherever you're watching, I hope you can stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, each year at the Grand Final we have a very special guest to sing Waltzing Matilda. 1991, it's Mr. Darryl Braithwaite. And we've certainly had some fine performers over the years. Olivia Newton-John, Peter Allen, John Farnham, Normie Rowe, and so on. But he's hoping that it won't rain. I can see the look in his eye as he makes his way to the stage here, accompanied by his guitarist, Chuck Hargraves. Would you please welcome Darryl Braithwaite to the 1991 Grand Final.
Thank you. Shame it's not Collingwood.
Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of the coolabah tree, and he sang as he watched and waited till his belly bong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came the jumbuck to drink at that billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee, and he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. Come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up jumped the swagman, jumped into the kingdom. Down came the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Who's that jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up jumped the swagman, jumped into the billabong. You'll never take me alive, said he, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come and waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. You'll come and waltzing Matilda with me. And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come and waltzing Matilda with me.
Braithwaite, huge success with the albums Edge and Rise, and the good news for Australia is that his national tour begins on November the 26th. We'll take a break and return to VFL Park shortly.
All Australia's laughing at City Slickers.
Fabulous. Funniest movie we've seen for a very long time.
Sensational.
He's a genius. It was great.
It was very funny.
Excellent. It was just fantastic. It's probably the best film I've seen in years. It's wonderful.
One of the best movies I've seen in a long, long time.
I wish the kids could have seen that. Amazing. It was amazing. Great film. Yeah.
Go and see it.
City Slickers. See it now. %, less fat.
At Goodyear, every tyre is guaranteed to perform for life. So check these great tyre deals. The tyres you buy are backed by services guaranteed Australia-wide. The Goodyear Safety Service for only $49.95 makes sure your car gets the most out of your tyres. Our tyres and service are handled by people good enough to protect you and the Goodyear name. So see your Goodyear retailer now for this great offer.
Good tyres, good service, good people,
Now the antenna's stuffed.
Heard from Dave since he joined the Air Force?
Radar malfunction, Cobra 1. Dave, we need a radar antenna. It's mission critical. Nice call. Returning to base.
The Air Force?
Here's the problem.
It's the phase shifter.
Now you take it, mate.
It's fixed.
108, set to go.
3 years at college for this.
Way to go.
There's only one ute that gives you the choice of a V6 or a V8 under the bonnet. The comfort of a passenger vehicle and the biggest load capacity in its class.
G'day, mate. G'day, Ken. Thanks, mate. Thanks, buddy.
The Holden ute is back. Every man and his dog will love it.
Anybody home?
Oh,
hi.
You're early.
You sick? No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Don't ask. I'll get it. Hello. It's for you.
Darling, what do you think? The green or the grey?
Oh, the green.
Hey, Dad, want to lift your hips?
Sure.
Hey, David, how about a hand with dinner?
Right. There you go. And the McFeast.
Nice to have you home early, I think.
Dad, the McFeast is mine.
Yes, and you can have one of your own when you...
A feeling of great anticipation here at VFL Park. Both sides will be out on the ground shortly. The talking point throughout this final series, though, has been Melbourne's weather. What's it going to be like today? What is the ground like? Down on the ground, we welcome to our telecast Jared Healy, who has all the answers. Jared.
Thanks, Sandy. Well, there's an electric atmosphere down here at ground level, but the conditions are going to be a little bit testy for the players. Looking at the Mitsubishi Motors weatherometer, we see we've got a current temperature of 15 degrees, which is also the expected top, so it's not going to get any warmer. Humidity is currently 55%, and there's a 20-kilometre wind swirling at ground level somewhat, but is favouring the end left of screen to the tune of 2 to 3 goals. The ground's in good condition despite overnight showers. The forecast is for a fine, cool and cloudy afternoon.
Thank you, Jared. For the people of Australia, we've got a marvellous competition for you. It is the Mark of the Year.
7 Sport Mitsubishi Motors Mark of the Year. Your phone vote could win you a Mitsubishi Magna. Dial the phone number on the mark you want to vote for. Mark 1, Peter Somerville, Essendon. Mark 2, Brett Allison, North Melbourne. Mark 3, Stuart Lowe, St Kilda. Mark 4, Derek Kickett, Essendon. Mark 5, Dale Lewis, Sydney. The winner of the Mark of the Year will also receive a Mitsubishi Magna. You have until 4 p.m. today to register your vote.
5 tremendous marks, 5 separate phone numbers. Make a note of those for the 5 players. Peter Somerville, Brett Allison, Stuart Lowe, Derek Kickett and Dale Lewis. And a reminder too that you have until 4 o'clock Eastern time to place your vote. So get on the phone now and who knows, you could be a winner. Let's now have a look at the occasions that these sides have met this year. They've had 3 meetings. And the honours have gone with the West Coast Eagles in round 7. The Eagles defeated Hawthorn very easily at Princes Park. That's when they really signalled they were going to be a force. And in round 22, the Eagles again convincing winners, this time at Subiaco over the Hawks. The margin there was 4 goals. However, Hawthorn, the final specialists, turned it round in the qualifying final 124 to 101. That was at Subiaco. Listen to the roar, because out come the West Coast Eagles in their first grand final. First out onto the ground. There was a lot of talk about Peter Wilson and Chris Mainwaring. They are both there. Whether they will start remains to be seen, but both out on the ground. Young Glenn Jakovich wearing the number 48 Guernsey. What a thrill for him. Just 18 years of age and a marvellous football future in front of him. Now this crowd is really erupting. There's more than 50,000 balloons that are going to be set off shortly. And we are set for that one day in September. Hawthorn are making their way out onto the ground. And again, a huge roar. Gary Ayres looking for his 3rd Norm Smith medal. Michael Tuck, what a champion, 38 years of age, 38 finals, his 11th grand final. He's played almost a quarter of his 425 games here at the park. This is not new to Hawthorn. They know the job ahead of them. They know what's required. It is, however, new to the Eagles. The question is, how will they handle it? They have been clearly the best side this season, winning 19 of their 22 home and away matches. Their running players have been superb. But the Hawks' discipline is going to be something they'll have to overcome. Now to our commentators' selections for this 91 grand final. And a bit of a mixed bag. Ross Glendinning, Bernie Quinlan, Bruce McAvaney and Dennis Cometti have opted for the West Coast Eagles. Jared Healy, Don Scott, Peter McKenna, Ian Robertson, Bill McDonald and yours truly have opted for Hawthorn. But whatever the outcome, it should be a very thrilling game. Also joining our telecast today, 2 former champions of the game. They're down on the boundary as well. Bernie Quinlan and Peter McKenna.
Thanks very much, Sandy. It's an amazing atmosphere down here, Bernie. I couldn't believe the roar for Hawthorn when they came out on the ground. Yet the poor old West Coast, they didn't cop too much of a rap from the crowd. But who are you selecting, Bernie?
Well, I'm probably going for the underdogs. I think the West Coast Eagles have not got the support of what probably the Hawthorn side has, but I think they've been the best side throughout the season. They won 19 of their 22 home and away games, and I'm tipping against you. I know you're going for Hawthorn, but I'm going for the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, well, I'm sticking with the Hawks up there, Sandy. It's a tremendous atmosphere down here, very blustery conditions, typical for the players, but it's great to be down here on the big ground.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. Yes, a magnificent scene. To Ross Glendinning and Ian Robertson, you know the feeling. What's it like for the players as they burst out onto the ground? Robbo?
Unbelievable, Sandy. I think that the first grand final that I ever played in, I don't think my feet touched the ground for about 10 minutes. But surely experience is going to be a big factor. Hawthorn, look at that last line of defence. Collins, Langford and Ayres. West Coast, Sumich must kick a lot of goals.
Yes, and that half-back lock again. Muse come through a fitness test. McIntosh, I don't think will start at centre-half forward.
Very important centre lines on big grounds like here and at the MCG. And Pritchard and Gowes, two very big jobs there on Kemp and Matera, key players for the West Coast.
Yes, and Brereton's been named at centre-half forward. Lockyer, his opponent. I think you'll find Brereton in a pocket with Adair at that centre-half forward key position.
And the West Coast have got a big job because Hawks are just blessed with talent in their forward line. Brennan on Dunstall, what a big job. Jarman and Paul Deere, both key players for the Hawks.
Yeah, some big owners here on Dean Irving to cope with Lawrence. He's been such a good player, and Pike on Platten will have a big bear in the game as well.
And of course, interchange adds a bit of flexibility. Anderson and Morrissey, both good players. Mainwaring and Wilson. Will Mainwaring take his place? We'll just see it very shortly.
So there are the lineups. As Robbo said, whether they start like that remains to be seen. Thousands of people have come over from Perth. Sadly, thousands couldn't, but give yourselves a wave and a clap over there at the Burswood Casino in Perth. They've got a history-making afternoon in front of them, and wherever you're watching, we certainly hope you'll enjoy it. Let's now pause for the national anthem.
Would you please now stand for the national anthem, which will be performed by Darryl Braithwaite, together with the Victorian Children's Choir and the signed choir from the Victorian School for Deaf Children with the Australian Army Band, Melbourne. Thank you.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and fair. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful song, then let us sing, advance Australia
And so the formalities are all but done. And there you have a bird's eye view of a wonderful arena. The weather, as Gerard said earlier in his Mitsubishi Motors report, is a little tricky. The wind in particular. Which side will be able to handle it best? Michael Tuck, what an extraordinary man. 38 finals. Let's go down for the all-important toss. Here's Gerard.
Yes, Darryl Braithwaite's got the coin. He's just waiting on John Worsfold, who has disappeared somewhat. So he's going to be a couple of seconds getting here. He's just running around looking for the umpire. If I was to win the toss, I'd be kicking to the main scoreboard end. There's a very blustery wind. There's no doubt that that will be the end favourite. Here comes John now, over with umpire John Russo. He shakes his hand. And up it goes the coin. It's a heads, won by John Worsfold. He has elected to kick with the wind.
So the Eagles have won the toss. Johnny Worsfold kicking with the breeze. We've had a look from above. Let's go up above now. In the chopper is Bill McDonald.
Sandy, VFL Park is a picture, packed to capacity. If there's a spare seat down there anywhere, I can't see it. The opening ceremony was spectacular as the balloons continue to disperse around us here. The stage is now well and truly set to one of the most eagerly awaited grand finals in a number of years. North have already beaten South in the earlier game. Now East takes on West in the big grand final. What a great atmosphere.
Thank you, Bill. We're set for a history-making afternoon. In the commentary position this afternoon, we have Dennis Cometti, Don Scott and Bruce McAvaney. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you, Sandy Roberts, and welcome to Don and Dennis. It is a tremendous atmosphere here. Don, you captained Hawthorn to 2 premierships in 76 and 78. You know what the feeling's like, and Dennis, you've been in Perth for a long, long time now, and you know the occasion here. Don, what about the start? Hawthorn renowned for getting away quickly.
Well, they have, Bruce, in the finals games, the 2 previous finals games of this year. They really did play finals football. They put their bodies behind the ball and put the score on the board, and the others had to play catch-up football.
Got to say too, Bruce, a good toss to win this one. The Eagles will have first use of the breeze. Strong breeze.
Hawthorn has led in 6 of the 7 grand finals they played in the 80s. Only when Essendon beat them in 85 were they behind a quarter time. So they are renowned for getting a flying start. We'll look for the matchups here. Mainwaring and Wilson the key in terms of fitness for both. West Coast is Mainwaring with his left thigh strapped. Brereton and Mew, some worries about both of them in the last fortnight, but it's good to see the 20 players selected out there.
Irving is out there too, yes. Some conjecture about that. Dermot.
Morrissey's got the job again on Lewis too. Dennis, he had that in the earlier game over in Perth, and he really did make mincemeat of Chris Lewis in that particular game. James Morrissey.
Well, it's been worth waiting for, hasn't it? 5 years ago, and here they are. The West Coast Eagles in a grand final. Great for the national competition. And certainly one of the Eagles' stars right there. Collins and Anderson come off the ground.
Kemp and Lamb for West Coast.
Surprised that Collins is going off, Don?
Yes, I am, Bruce, because he was their best and fairest last year, and he played in the back pocket.
Well, he started on the bench in the qualifying final in Perth, didn't he?
He hasn't had the best of seasons.
McIntosh for Brereton, and Brennan for Dunstall. Lockyer for Deere. So Don will keep an eye on all of those moves. Waterman, it looks, might be for Hudson. All set. Grand final. Brian Sheen about to bounce the ball. West Coast go to the left. Hawthorn to the right. Irving uncontested. Thumps it to half forward. Ayres over the top of him. Mew, who's been in this situation so many times. Allen's quick kick to centre wing. Waters. A fumble. Maybe a nervous fumble. Tackled. Still tries to get the football out. Had too much time and gives up the football. Free kick to Hawthorn, and Ayres to take it.
He's on the wing. Gary Ayres towards centre half forward.
That's bad marking. Bad marking by Lewis.
Morrissey just forward of the centre circle towards half forward. Good kick too. Pritchard in open space. 70 metres from goal. He plays on towards the pocket. Brereton's the target. Behind Dunstall, close to the boundary line, can't control it. Still he goes, threw it back into play, and the umpire's going across and awarding a free kick to the Eagles. McKenna.
Some loose play, Dennis, by 2 West Coast Eagles. One was Matera on Pritchard, and the other Chris Lewis on Jamie Morrissey.
Clearing kick to the outer side, on the breeze. Lawrence, a big fist, it's out of bounds.
Michael Tuck, the oldest man on the ground, has got the job on Craig Turley, who's been a prolific kick-getter and a good player for the West Coast this year.
Runner-up in the Brownlow Monday night. Irving gets the tap against Deere. Platten. Twist, turns, left foot round the body. To half forward, West Coast mark. To Pike. Allen very strong on him.
Best mates they are too, those two. You wouldn't think it.
Brian Sheen talking to Pike. Settling him down, but not taking the football off him. The kick to centre wing. Oh, Turley, Tuck went early. So Turley from centre wing with a handball. To Hart. Hart to half forward. Sumich, Langford with him. It'll be one of the jewels of the day. Matera with pace. A little one, not a good kick. These sides are taking a long time to settle down. Hart touches the ground on the ball. Goes short. Finds Pike in the centre square. Jakovic in the goal square. Pike goes long towards him. Jakovic sets himself. Front spot, takes it.
No, play on.
Play on. Ball. Gee, bit stiff. Had a lot of it in the end, didn't he?
Yes, not at the start though, I don't think.
The umpire right on the scene then too.
A good decision, that one.
You can see there, tempers frayed. A lot of pent-up emotion.
Turley and Jenke. It's been a quiet start. Suddenly starting to come alive. Jakovic goes for it. Heady tries to help him out. Heady goes to ground, ridden to the ground, and gone for holding the ball. Well, a hard decision, and here's the man who's won the Norm Smith twice. Ayres to centre wing.
Oh, call almost. Mainwaring held without it. He punched the ball away. Advantage is paid. This is Worsfold through the middle. Long kick inside the attacking 50. Langford uncontested in the end. Wants to play on. No one stands the mark. Bad footy by the Eagles. Langford towards the middle. Kicks towards right half forward. Good fist from Lockyer. Pritchard in front though, roving the pack, forward of the wing, down towards right half forward. Brereton, meters in the clear, can't control it, keeps it in. Awkward one now for McIntosh.
That should be a free kick to McIntosh, because Brereton took his eye off the ball and actually held McIntosh.
He played it very well, the young man.
Isn't it great to see him out here? He's playing school football last year. He's only 18 years of age. He's got a big job. Matera and Pritchard.
And the clock continues to run. The Eagles need some goals on this breeze. McIntosh towards the wing, knocked away by Lawrence. Pike goes off the ground down towards half forward. Wilson's in front down there. Cleverly to Turley, 60 metres out, confronted, tries to lay it off. Wilson can't control it. Tuck's got it now, well played. Platten on the burst.
Centre wing, kick towards Pritchard. Matera goes with him. In front, Matera, Pritchard. A foxing game for the moment, and out of play. Turley had an opportunity, didn't he?
I would, and that's what final football isn't about. You just put it on your boot initially and hope for the best. You just got to get the ball forward. The skill will come in later.
Deere, who's normally very good in this situation against Lockyer. Platten looks for a free kick, not there. Hart beats him with pace. Off the ground, Turley. Sits, waits, does that very well. But the handball not strong. Irving and Platten. Irving gets rid of him. Tuck with a little one. Turley with a chance. Should set it up to Waters. Will it sit? Waters, who had the fumbles earlier, has them again. He's struggling in the early stages. Free kick though.
Throw, Bruce.
And there's Worsfold and also Condon. So Waters, maybe this will settle him. High drop punt to centre half forward. Sumich can't get there. Jenke front spot, misses it. Heady goes to ground. Already's gone for holding the ball once. Tuck sweeps a handball out wide. It sits for Ayres, and the Hawks are away again to centre wing.
Foot race to the outer side. Jarman leads. Mainwaring did well though. Beat him to it. Mainwaring taken around the head. Advantage is paid. No, it'll come back, I fancy, or will it? They continue to play on. In fact, advantage was paid. We've got a throw in.
Noticeable, Dennis, already that a lot of West Coast forwards, namely Lewis and Sumich, are being led to the ball. They've got to get in front and create play.
Lewis missed it. Morrissey off the ground. Whew, big collision there, Gowers and Wilson. And the ball is out of bounds. The volatile one, Peter Wilson. Thrown in just outside the attacking 50 for the West Coast Eagles. Wilson over the top. Heady in front. Out of bounds once more. The Eagles winning the toss. Going with a strong breeze. And so far, no score in the grand final. But Hawthorn would be rather content with this. Ayres over the top. Wilson goes again for the Eagles. Jenke comes to meet it. Missed it. Mew out of the congestion. Straight up in the air virtually. Pritchard couldn't control it. Matera now a chance, met very solidly by Ayres. Away to Morrissey, kept his composure. Mew in the tackle, gets the kick away. Irving in trouble. Lawrence got him. Tuck held without it, should get a free. Advantage is paid. Condon comes away.
Centre wing, Brereton and McIntosh. Free kick, Brereton. Plays on. Centre half forward, the kick. The wind holds it up. Pritchard. Dunstall on the lead. McKenna, the quick handball. Brennan, some rebound from West Coast. Brennan's kick not good. Lawrence should take it easily, and he does at centre wing.
Matera again a long way from Pritchard. Pritchard got the ball into the forward line for Hawthorn on that occasion.
One of the big improvers in the game, the 22-year-old, ex-Queenslander. Tries to go round Irving in the end, then goes short to Condon, who has to sit and wait. Waters with him, Condon off the ground. Brereton again sits and waits. McIntosh has got him, should go. Brereton, no, play on. Had plenty of time. Irving off the ground. Still this game really yet to settle. Turley, a slow handball. Mainwaring waits, sits, ducks, weaves, gets around. Drop punt, not particularly a good kick. Missed by Jakovic. Mew's little left footer. Back towards centre wing, Gowers. Now Allen. Good little give there to Lawrence, to Platten, run down, gets a quick kick away. Matera should rebound, and does, and kicks it a mile. Lewis the target, front spot, Morrissey with him. Did it well, Morrissey. Wilson has some time. Lewis takes out Ayres behind play. Wilson round the corner to Sumic. It's a good kick. And paid.
Oh, there's that 50.
Yes.
There's against Langford. You can see that.
50-metre penalty here for Sumic. Langford just losing his cool. Lewis was there with him, and he's really conceded a goal.
Here it is on replay, the mark. That's not the infringement. Lewis getting up. Oh, we just missed. There it is. That's why the 50-metre penalty given.
So Sumic to kick the first score of the game, and surely it'll be a goal. From the square, familiar sight, drop punt straight through.
When you first buy a home, you don't really own very much of it, do you? But if you have a Westpac home loan, you can own more of your home much sooner. You can reduce the term of your loan without increasing the amount of your repayments. You can even vary your loan at any time to suit your changing circumstances. Just talk to your Westpac branch about these and other ways you can own your home sooner.
You can bank on us.
A long time coming. The Eagles lead by 6 points. Dean Irving and Steve Lawrence will go at it. Irving favoured by the bounce. Gowers, the hurried kick towards half forward. Hall, oh, terrific mark. Marvellous mark, plays on. Not best policy, intended for Condon. Worsfold went off the ground. This is Matera, down towards half forward. Wayward kick, out of bounds on the full. The Hawks have started better. Ray Jenke has the ball. Forward of right half back, towards the wing. Hall again. Opted out of the contest. Condon, uncontested, plays on. Not a particularly good kick down towards the 50. Timely fist from McIntosh. Dia on a collision course with Worsfold. Picked up by Hart. He's away. Well shepherded by Worsfold. Advantage is paid. This is Turley.
It's on behind
the centre square.
On behind play between Dia and Worsfold.
Pick it up every time, Bill. Turley gets it away. You know what to look for. This is McKenna inside the attacking 50. Sumic on the lead. It's 50 again. Chris Langford, twice now. He's 100 metres in debit and 2 goals.
Boy, are these costly penalties. Oh, yeah, there. Well, that was only Tiggy Touchwood. It was still there.
He was looking for a cannon.
Or a hole to crawl into, Dennis.
I was talking about billiards, Don. This is Sumic. Point blank range. Goal.
To develop the most advanced four-wheel drive in the world, we tested it in the most rugged country on earth.
Start for West Coast, but suddenly they're 2 goals in front, both from Sumic, and it's about what Gerard Healy thought the breeze was worth. Irving gets the tap, Hudson in the centre square, Platten's quick left foot round the body, Lockyer takes the mark, it's paid. Deer on the mark. Hawthorn yet to really threaten the goal. Lockyer's high one to half forward, Jakovic goes, Gowers with him. Heady cleverly off the ground. Wilson and Ayres. Wilson tried to take Ayres out. That's a pretty hard task. Ayres goes to ground. Morrissey just gives it up towards Platten. Jakovic with him. Wilson throws it away. Mainwaring. Lewis, who can be absolutely brilliant. Oh, what a kick. Oh, well done, though, by Langford in the end. The kick was for Turley. Tuck. Half back. Pritchard Matera. They both go to ground. High tackle on Pritchard, play on, 1 bounce. Steadies, centre wing, Deer in the front spot, runs off Lockyer, could have gone further, kicks to Brereton against McIntosh. A good one-out contest, McKenna played it beautifully. Good tackle though by Jarman. Oh gee, Deer just crunched him, must give the free kick away. It's got to come back to McKenna.
Gee, he won that well, he copped one off Brereton initially and then another one off Deer. The ears will be a little sore.
This Worsfold, McIntosh, McKenna line is doing very well for West Coast. Waters at centre wing.
Plays on immediately. Towards half forward. Heady's in front. Should mark. Must get a free kick. They're getting worked over a few of these boys for the West Coast Eagles. Heady. A real baptism of fire inside the attacking 50. Intended for Sumic. Off hands Jakovic to Turley. Deep in the pocket, Turley. He's kicked these before. He goes goalward. It's bending back too far. Morrissey. Open space beckoning to the outer side. Intended for Gowers. Mainwaring is closing. Knocks the ball away. He's inside the 50. The little champ goes after it. Falls over. Gowers pushed across the boundary line. Throw in.
Turley could have had, or well, he did have Wilson back in the centre as he came around on his left foot on that left boundary. He could have dragged the ball more into the centre. Wilson was by himself. Instead, he went for goal.
Eagles by 12 points. Mew decisively. Mainwaring, though, 60 metres out from goal. Morrissey couldn't control it. Jakovic goes off the ground, and once more, it will be thrown in. Just over 13 minutes remaining. Michael Malthouse, a premiership player at Richmond in 1980. Mew in front of Jakovic.
Who wins the tap. Wilson runs onto it, kicks the ball to goal. Bouncing.
Oh, no!
For goal!
At BP, we like to think our new service stations are the best in the world, which is why our special fact-finding team is constantly checking, as unobtrusively as possible, how well our stations are maintaining the standard. Thank you. We're pleased to say the results have been very encouraging. But why not come and check us out for yourselves? BP, on the move.
Wilson kicking a goal that Dacos would have been proud of. Irving with the tap. Pike out of the centre. West Coast dominating. Free kick down the ground to Heady. Within scoring distance.
It's against Allen on Pike. As Pike got rid of the ball, a late tackle, a high tackle by Allen.
Well, they might be best mates, Dennis, but Ben Allen's let Don Pike know where he is today, but he might concede another goal here.
Yes, the friendship is off, at least for the afternoon.
There it is. Really nothing in it, just the high tackle.
Well, you mentioned Heady, Don, as their other big goal kicker, West Coast with Sumic. He kicked one from a similar distance with a heavy ball just before three-quarter time against Geelong. Drop punt, leans back, kicks it well. Right there, another one. Well, West Coast up to 4 goals now. They've kicked 4 goals in the space of about 7 minutes here and lead 4 goals to 0.
Well, what a great pickup that man is there. In the 1989 draft, he was picked number 92 and really has come of age in the last 12 months. He's really built himself up. A magnificent body now for a half forward. That's his 44th goal for the season.
To the present time, Lawrence gets it down. Waterman missed.